Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Voice Chat. I'm Colby.
I'm Tanner.
Again, we want to excuse Tanner. Tanner, you're right here.
All right, I'm leaving.
I
I'm
guess
leaving.
I'm going solo on this one, but we want to excuse Darren and Matt. Again, they're still doing sales, doing great as far as we know. They haven't come home crying yet, so I think they're doing good. So, anyway,
Not yet.
not yet. Anyways, today's topic is kind of some forgotten people in history. Just a few. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that have done great things in history and lots of different achievements and stuff that we really overlook. But the few that I kind of picked to kind of talk about a little bit, I think really impact our daily lives for the most part. I mean, yeah.
More than we think.
More than we think and what we know.
Right.
I wanted to start off with Alexander Graham Bell. Granted, most people know who he is, but I feel like we forget about him a lot. It's not like he's Thomas Edison, where it's like, oh yeah, he invented the light bulb.
Right. So every time you flick on a light now, oh, Thomas Edison pops to mind.
Whereas like I'm holding my phone, like I'm not thinking about Alexander Graham Bell.
Yeah,
like,
you're thinking of Apple.
Yeah, I'm thinking of
Steve
Jobs. Yeah, I was like, I blanked for a minute. I was like,
Wozniak
crap.
and whoever the third guy was.
Yeah, whoever it was. But
Now it's Tim Cook.
yeah. So he came to the U.S. as a teacher of the deaf.
Interesting.
So
Like sign language?
This is
Teacher of the deaf.
so I'm assuming
I would
like
assume so.
signing and like kind of like I don't know if he's
Working with them.
working with them, like teaching them. Okay, 1, 2, like you like a normal teacher would, but he specialized in deaf kids.
Oh, cool.
Or deaf people, I should say. I don't know if
That's cool.
they were kids or not. And he conceived the idea of electric speech while visiting his hearing impaired mother in Canada.
Electric speak. Are we thinking like Stephen Hawking
Oh,
style?
Like something like
Like
that.
speak through a computer?
Or
idea?
like through like electrical wire or something. Like I don't think it's like straight like Stephen Hawking's like typing on a computer saying something.
Okay, cool.
Bell was born in Scotland. So he's Scottish. Not very good with my Scottish accent.
You almost sound British.
But it's a cross between the two.
Is Scotland a part of the UK?
Yeah.
So it's Ireland that's not.
Or is it the other way around?
I don't know. I can't.
I always get those two mixed up too.
Yeah. Because I want to say one is on like that main island,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other one is a separate island. I'm going to look that up real fast.
Yeah.
You continue.
Yep. So he was an inventor. And what's funny is he was actually, let's see, which university was he? He graduated university in anatomy and physiology. So was more of a human body type of guy versus like a electric inventor of things. But he invented something that could clean wheat. So when you harvest wheat and stuff, you kind of have to clean it and go through a process. I'm not an expert on that. I'm not a farmer, so I don't know.
All right, back to that last point. Ireland is off the west coast of the United Kingdom. Ireland is not part of the United Kingdom, but Scotland is.
Scotland is. Okay. I couldn't remember.
Scotland, I believe, is the northern part of, it's like north of England. Yep.
Yeah. Really, there's not a lot about Alexander Graham Bell. He's not like, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more information than what I found about him, but really the biggest achievement of his, he didn't have a lot of other things that he did besides the telephone. I mean, he had that wheat machine, but I believe he was like 15 or something when he invented that. Like, so he was pretty young inventing stuff and then kind of progressed into trying to help people and stuff and then come up with the telephone.
Cool.
And I know there's disputes. Or is that the radio? It might be the radio. Who invented the radio first?
I think there's disputes on pretty much every major invention.
Right. But there's one invention it's either a telephone or the radio where it's an argument over if it was a British guy or it was a Russian that did it. And
okay.
I can't remember which one it is.
I mean, I'm sure Russia's going to claim that they did it first, but...
Well, they tried to get the space first and saw how that worked out, too. They didn't.
The moon landing was fake, bro.
My bad. I mean, granted, they got...
Come on, don't you see the way the flag moves?
Yeah, it does. It moves, man.
Yeah, it waves. There's no gravity in space, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I'm an expert.
We love everybody, don't we, Tanner?
Very much.
All right, the next person I want to talk about.
Wait, sorry, real fast. I meant to ask. So, did he invent the telephone on accident as trying to invent something else and then accidentally created the telephone? Or was it like, oh, I want to make this an idea.
I believe it was kind of especially looking at like trying to help people communicate. I think he just kind of stumbled upon it and realized what he could do with it versus like trying to help somebody that was mute or something communicate.
Okay, so he's trying to do the communication and then realized that there was this other opportunity.
Yeah. As far as I know, the little research I did.
Okay.
That's
so it wasn't like an accident, kind of like Velcro or Viagra?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, just making sure.
Never mind. I won't. I was going to say something about a fun fact about Viagra, but I won't. Not that I've taken it, but...
Okay, Colby.
It's good for altitude sickness.
Oh, yeah. Continue.
Apparently you don't believe me.
I'm not going to ask you on how you know that.
When you have siblings that are in the medical field, they tell you things. So.
Oh, okay. That's a good point. That makes sense.
It's not like, oh, I took it because I was... All right, we're just going to...
Let's move on.
Glaze past that one. The next person, speaking of medical field, is Alexander Fleming.
Okay.
So he actually discovered penicillin.
Oh.
He was serving as a medic in World War I. He's, again, Scottish.
Oh.
He was watching soldiers die as a result of wound infections and such. And his observations led to him write an article on the topic that went unaccepted. I can't read today.
That's okay.
Everybody gets the gist.
You are a little slow, according to...
I'm a little dim.
According to a comment.
Or two. Anyways, in 1928, he inadvertently discovered a bacteria killing mold after leaving a petri dish uncovered near a open window. After determining it was part of the penicillin genes, he published a 1929 paper about it.
So it was an accident.
So
Why is everything an accident?
Maybe it's not an accident.
Why were you an accident?
Hey, you know what's funny?
Were you? Were you planned?
I have no idea for sure, but when your closest sibling is 6 years older than you,
yeah,
and you're born in November, I think
it's an accident.
I think it's a good shot.
Valentine's Day got a little crazy one year, huh?
Probably. Oh shoot! I don't want to be having an emergency call here.
Oh,
that would have been bad.
Nice.
Yeah, but it seems like a lot of inventions like that were accidents. I mean, with Edison, I believe that he was trying to make the light bulb like a rod, and realized the heat. They couldn't take the heat and stuff, and then tried different things and different shapes and stuff. It didn't work, and then I think he accidentally made the incandescent that we know, the bulb shape that we know now.
Right. Well, I mean, his famous quote, he didn't fail. He found 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb or whatever.
Right. I'm trying to think what else. There's some other famous inventions, I'm sure, that are accidents and stuff that...
I feel like a lot of kind of just random things that we don't think about.
Right.
It's like, oh, yeah, I was trying to do this, but I did this, and this is better, so I'm going to go with this. And then there's other things where it's like, no, they were trying to make this.
Well, like a camera. That was the one thing that came to my mind. Like, I'm pretty sure they were trying to make a camera. There's no way that you can accidentally make that.
The way cameras work, it's crazy. The way light works and what they used to do before an actual camera. They do shows and stuff like that with it. And that's an interesting. That's a whole.
I know you can go right.
That's a cool. The way the mechanics of it is just crazy, and how it's just like your eyeball. That's a whole nother thing, but yeah.
Right. Anyways. So on to one of our next ones is, I kind of mentioned him earlier, was Tesla.
Okay.
Nikola Tesla. Again, I think he was very overshadowed by Edison. I mean, granted, those two fought each other a lot throughout their time together and stuff. I mean, even the electric chair, that's kind of one of the trying to find what word I'm trying to say. I'm a little dim, so.
I know. Like the forefront, like one of his big accomplishments, or something they fought between.
No, it's kind of like an accident that kind of happened. Like
they figured out that you could shock someone.
Yeah, because they were arguing with AC versus DC.
Right.
So
do you want to explain what that is for?
No, I can't explain that.
Alternating current and direct current.
I knew what they meant.
It's alternating back and forth. Direct is one way. Something like that.
Something like that. All right.
I just know the band.
That's the only AC/DC I know.
Exactly.
Anyways, which one, I don't remember which one
One liked one liked the other.
Yeah, I
I'm
can't.
not sure either.
AC was Tesla. I
Okay.
have that right in here. So
Right.
DC was direct current was Edison.
Wasn't it like Edison kind of won that battle, so everyone went direct current, and then years later come to find out that alternating current was better for
It was safer.
the majority of everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and what they did with the electric chair was kind of back to what I was talking about with that is that was kind of come about because I believe Edison was the one that invented the electric chair
Okay.
and said he used AC when he really used DC to do it.
Oh, okay.
So he was trying to prove that how dangerous AC was and to get everybody away from it, so
right.
everybody would start using direct current. So Edison would earn all the money from his patents and stuff from everybody using it and buying it.
Right.
And he was trying to disprove Tesla, but really Tesla was the correct
Right.
with AC versus DC. Granted,
Right.
I think I'm not an electrician. I do believe we still use both to a certain extent.
I think it depends on what it is. Yes.
Yeah. So, because like a car is DC,
Right.
but like in a house it's AC.
Yeah. Depending on what it is you're trying to power
Right.
and the type of power it needs to draw, it depends on what type of current you're going to use.
Right. So I mean, we can debate here like idiots all day long,
Yeah.
like we want to say which is better, but I have no idea. I'm not an electrician, so I don't really care.
Yeah. It depends. It depends.
Yeah.
It depends.
We'll just leave it at that. It depends.
Yeah.
All right. On to our next person is Bass Reeves. He was born into slavery in Arkansas and escaped the Indian Territory during the American Civil
It's
War.
Arkansas.
Is it though?
Why is this one Kansas and this one Arkansas? America, explain.
Why do you have North Dakota and South Dakota? Why do we have North Carolina and South Carolina?
It's just
Just what it is.
West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home.
Country roads.
I don't know.
I'm not an English major. I can tell you.
I was just wondering why we pronounce it. I guess it's like hurricane, hurricane,
Well, and it's
Tule, Tooele.
Twilla.
Utah's weird. Weird. Weird.
Weird. Mountain or mountain?
Mountain.
Crick or crick?
You mean creek or crick?
Same difference.
It depends. Depends on how I'm feeling. Is it caramel or caramel?
Depends. Is
Okay.
you talking about like the liquid or like the hard candy?
Oh.
That's usually my distinction between them. Is
Right.
and I'm no expert on this. I'm no candy expert, but caramel, I believe, is the liquid and
Caramel is the...
the hard candy.
Huh.
I think I may have that backwards.
I don't
too.
know. I thought it was just how you pronounce. It's like potato, potato, tomato, tomato.
What's the thing that you sleep on? Put your head on when you
A
sleep.
pillow.
Okay.
It's not pillow. It's an I. Same with a pen, not a pin.
It's a pen.
Sorry for the plosives.
We
So.
practiced the sound there.
For real.
Or like, how do you say ketchup?
Ketchup.
I hate people.
Ketchup.
Ketchup. It's an E, not an A.
Ketchup. How do you say like what Rocket is in Guardians of the Galaxy?
A raccoon.
Okay. I go back and forth between. I say raccoon.
Depends on if I'm
Sorry, raccoon. There we go.
raccoon.
Raccoon.
I mean, you could just shorten it, but that's not very nice.
That's an inappropriate Colby.
My bad. Anyways, back to Bass Reeves. That was a weird sidetrack we just took there.
Our apologies.
I mean, if you stayed at this point, I think
Welcome back.
welcome back. This new episode. Anyways, Bass Reeves was known for his remarkable tracking skills and knowledge of the region. He became a legendary figure of the Wild West.
Oh, cool.
Again, he was no Buffalo Bill or anybody like that, but he did turn into a U.S. Marshal.
Oh.
He was over west of the Mississippi, so he was over a large region.
Right.
During his career, he arrested over 3,000 outlaws, including notorious criminals like Bell Star and Cherokee Bill. Never heard of those two either.
Mm-mm.
I'm a Wild West fan, but never heard of those. He was known for enforcing the law without prejudice and gained a reputation for being fair and impartial. So he would have made a good judge.
Nice.
I don't know any good judges anymore. Haven't seen one in a while, so
I know a guy.
I know a couple guys.
He's a neighbor.
Old professor of mine.
Oh, nice.
He retired from law enforcement in 1907, but continued to serve as a police officer in Oklahoma.
Oh, cool.
So
Oklahoma. You don't hear much about Oklahoma, do you?
Oklahoma's one of those forgotten states.
I just know Oklahoma from like the play or the movie.
Which
Oklahoma.
I've never
It's
seen.
called Oklahoma.
Never seen.
It's a movie, and I think there's a play about it as well.
Probably.
That's all I know.
Texas overshadows it.
It's true.
Texas.
It's just North Texas.
Pretty-
Hey, how do you piss off a Texan?
How do you piss them off?
Tell them if you cut Alaska in half, they'll be the third largest state.
What's with Texas always being like
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Why is that always a thing?
I don't know.
I don't know anybody from Texas.
I know a couple. I work with some people from Texas.
You should ask them. Why is
Okay.
it? Why is it a thing? I'm just curious here.
They'll probably just say, it's just Texas.
That's just what it is.
They probably say some stuff about Utah.
Hey, we got fry sauce, so I'm not complaining.
I love fry sauce. Dude, I have some in the fridge that I made. It's actually pretty good.
I mean, that's the best way to do it.
I'll have you try some.
It's better to just home make it than anything else.
Well, that's because everything up, it's called mayo chup.
Yeah. And it's too much mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like the local restaurants that make it so good, dude. Red Robin, though, has their campfire sauce is pretty much like a fry sauce. That stuff is good.
That stuff is to die for.
Or like cane sauce is pretty much fry sauce.
That's basically
I know how to make that too, actually.
YouTube videos, man.
Oh yeah, I mean there's copycat recipes.
All right. On to our next one is Ada or Ada. Pretty sure it's
How's it spelled?
ADA.
Ada, either one. I'm
Either
sure.
or. Lovelace. She was the first, one of the first world computer programmers.
Oh.
So her ideas laid the foundation for development of modern computer programming and the concept of software. Lovelace's visionary insights into the potential of computers extended beyond mere calculations as she contemplated their use in music and art generation.
Oh, cool.
So a lot of what she did probably laid the ground for what we have today for like iPhones and stuff too. Or
Right.
like, okay, yeah, like it can do computing and stuff like in the 60s and stuff, like the big
Right.
IBM computers doing
Right.
a bunch of
The computing for the shuttle.
for the
moon
launch.
landing?
Yeah, the moon landing. That was fake.
Yeah. Because we're experts.
We're experts. We know what we're talking about. A lot of what she did kind of laid the groundwork for making things easier of actually using it more for just calculations and work. And
Okay. Did it say animation and art in there too? Is that what you said, or I just misread?
it was
misheard?
music and art.
Okay. So that is like Apple, because Apple originally was like for graphic designers
Yeah.
in the early days. So that's kind of cool.
I didn't write down a year. We don't have a year or anything for her, so I'm sure she was probably right around 60s or 70s.
Yeah, right around that time. That's when computers were
starting.
pretty big, or maybe even before that. It could be before that.
Yeah,
Because we kind of had computers during the First World War.
kind of. Yeah,
A little bit. We had some technology into it, but nothing crazy.
yeah. I mean, but again, they were massive rooms of
Right.
all sorts of machinery and stuff trying to run and do stuff. So,
Right.
Our next one we want to talk about is Rosalind Franklin. This one's actually very interesting. Kind of go back to healthcare and stuff.
Okay.
Um,
Any relation to Benjamin Franklin, or do you know
I have no idea.
of your knowledge? Maybe.
Probably is.
Maybe. Distantly.
Distantly.
Cool.
She was involved with X-ray imaging.
Oh.
Um,
Have you broken a bone? Remind me.
nope, never broken a bone.
Okay.
I've sprained
Everything, yeah.
my whole body basically.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it was mostly for using like X-rays to look at like DNA and stuff to kind of look more
Oh, whoa.
smaller. Because this talks about her work provided crucial evidence of the double helix structure of the DNA and helped shape the field of molecular biology. I had to really think hard on that word.
That's way cool.
Her research techniques and methodologies in X-rays continue to be used in various scientific fields today.
Wow. X-raying to see. That's interesting.
Said X-ray diffraction. I think I skipped diffraction.
Oh, okay. So it's some type of
X-ray.
X-raying to peer into everyone's soul.
Yeah, looking at your cells and stuff, and looking at all the DNA inside and stuff. So
that's cool.
I mean, it's crazy to think of how much like information
right
is in like your DNA and
stored in
cells.
one little tiny piece.
Like you can't even see. Like it's
Right.
amazing how small it is.
Right, or how much data our brains can hold.
Yeah, or what we can actually do with our brains. Supposedly 10% is what we use.
Which is funny because technically you use 100% of your brain.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking it's only at 10% power.
Yeah.
Because it's like we use our prefrontal cortex, we use the other parts of the brain. That's the only one I know. There's other parts of the brain that light up during certain things. So it's like we're technically using every part of the brain.
Right.
But I'm assuming it's not to its fullest potential. Because I've heard that my whole life is you use only 10% of your brain. It's like, well, what 10%?
Yeah. What does 10% mean? Like,
yeah.
Who quantifies that and who describes what 10% is?
All I know is that the human body only has enough blood to run one head at a time.
That is some good advice for some of
our younger audience.
young men that listen to our podcasts. Just keep that in mind when you're, I don't know.
And the females out there, remember that us men, we ain't perfect.
Yeah. That's why women talk so much too.
Let's not get into that.
Sorry about that one. That was a little detour we might want to avoid later.
All right.
Anyways, the last person I wanted to bring up was Alan Turing. He was in cryptography. That's a big word. In World War II.
That's code stuff, right?
Yeah. So, like, he was hoping decode the German Enigma. Good God.
Okay.
I cannot speak today. Machine that... Basically what that was, for those that don't know, was the Germans were using a machine that they would type on like a typewriter, and then they would type a message onto a piece of paper, and it'd be something completely different from what they typed. So he helped break the code for that so that the Allies and stuff could read the code and figure out what they were doing.
Fun fact about that, did you know that the United States and the Allied forces would use Navajo speakers, and we would speak in Navajo to each other because...
They didn't know about
Germans didn't know about that.
Yeah, the Navajo code talkers.
Yep.
They were.
Which is way cool. Also, another side note on that. I can't remember for the life of me this guy's name. But I know him as the last Indian war chief or something like that, I think is the name he got. Because in Native American culture, you would have to do certain things in order to become like a chief or warrior or something. And it was in battle. It was like you had to steal an enemy horse,
there were certain criteria you had to meet and do.
Capture an enemy's weapon or something like that. And there's certain things that you'd have to do in order to become a war chief or something. I think it's war chief. Anyways, this Native American soldier was in the war, and he got separated from his platoon or something. And he does all those things. I'm not sure if he did it on purpose, but he stole enemy horses. He captured an enemy without... with taking his weapon or killing him or something like that. And he checked off all these little things, and he became the last, I think Black Hawk War Chief, I think is what it's called.
That sounds familiar. I vaguely
it's something around that. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but something around that. And so he became the last one because now it's a little different. They don't have those traditional wars and stuff like that. So, but I believe it was World War II that this happened. I'm like, that's awesome. Let's go.
The best thing to ever do is be the first person to do something or the last person to do something.
Yeah, you go down in history.
You're somewhere in the middle. Sometimes if you do something a little different,
you have to be real good.
Right.
Set a record that lasts for a long time.
Right. And that's why some of the people we talked about today have been kind of overshadowed and stuff because they've not been number one. They've been number two, or they were number one and somebody else perfected it more that they're
or got it out first.
Right.
Like Edison and the light bulb.
Right.
Going back to that earlier was like there was other people that were working on the light bulb and were getting close, but he just managed to get it out first, I believe. Or some of his other inventions, same thing, is he just got it out first.
Right. And he was able to go get patents for it too.
Right. And that comes from money as well.
Right. And that money and knowing how to do it correctly too.
Right.
So. Back to Alan Turing. He was I cannot speak today. Good Gandhi. I'm a little dim if you guys didn't know about that. He's widely regarded as the father of computer science and artificial intelligence.
Oh, wow. Do you think he worked with the Ada
He probably did.
Probably knew of each other, maybe.
Maybe they could have. Turing's concept of the Turing machine formed the basis of development of modern computers and computational theory. So again, helped with computers down the road as well.
Wow.
So again, you have all these people to thank for all these wonderful things that
man.
everybody takes for advantage today.
Artificial intelligence. We'd like to thank artificial intelligence, AI, for the majority of our lives.
Yeah. A lot has to do with your content that we bring you. So
So thank you.
thank you. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank
I'm
you.
Colby. That's Tanner. Catch you next time.
Bye.
Adios.